Welcome to Jikoni Magic's Meza. Today we shall be making a dish that's been highly requested by several of you. It's always been, how do I make brown pilau, or please show us how to make pilau on the charcoal Jiko. So I thought to myself, why not combine the two and kill two birds with one stone? So here we go. I'm starting when I've already lit my Jiko and with my sufuria warming on it. And to the sufuria I added a third cup of sunflower oil, followed by one large onion that I had finely sliced. After about a minute, I added some salt to the onions in order for them to cook faster because it draws out the moisture. And in quick succession, I also added 3 heaped teaspoons of desiccated coconut and 1 heaped teaspoon of my homemade pilau mix. I already shared this with you in my previous video. Please refer to it for more details. I'm going to leave the link in the description box down below. So after this, it was just a matter of patience and waiting for the onions to cook and turn into a very deep shade of brown. The secret to brown pilau actually lies in how much you're willing to brown your onions without actually burning them. And as you can see, the onions have already started turning brown, but it's not the shade I want because this will give you very pale pilau. So I kept cooking the onions, and at this point the onions will give your pilau a medium brown color intensity. However, I really wanted to show you how far you can take your onions and what the results would be. Finally, after about 10 minutes of cooking my onions on moderate heat, they turned to the deep brown color that I was aiming for. That's what you want. So this is when I added a teaspoon of ginger paste, followed by a teaspoon of garlic paste. The addition of these two ingredients stops any further caramelization or browning of the onions. I cooked the ginger and garlic for about a minute and then added the puree of 2 large tomatoes. Here I've already added half a kg of beef that I had boiled earlier. I'm sorry, I had paused my camera for a minute and forgot to press the record button when I came back. I normally just boil my meat in plain water and no salt. Next, I added half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and salt to taste. And then covered the sufuria for the contents to simmer, the tomatoes to cook, and for the meat to absorb the flavors. This was after about 5 minutes of simmering. Notice how the oil has already separated from the meat. In addition, I want to show you how dark the meat has turned. Signs of good things to come, right? The oil is also a nice brown color, as you can see here. So at this point, I added a teaspoon of tomato paste and left it to cook for about 3 minutes. And then mix it into the meat. Next, I added 2.5 glasses of long grain basmati rice. I had already washed it to get rid of the starch and set it aside on a sieve to drain completely. Mix to make sure that the rice was coated. Then added 5 glasses of beef stock that I had drained from the beef that I had boiled earlier. Actually, it wasn't enough, so I was forced to top it up with a half glass of water. At this point, all I was doing was moving the rice around to loosen it and make sure that it wasn't stuck at the bottom. Then added 2 beef cubes and half a teaspoon of cardamom powder. I love adding cardamom powder at this point because I like it when my pilau has a very distinct cardamom smell. If it's not your thing, you don't have to add it. I left the pilau to simmer uncovered until almost all the water had evaporated, and then gently lifted the one that was at the bottom to come up to the top so that it would all cook evenly. Next, I covered the sufuria and removed it from the Jiko. Then I scooped out the hot charcoal into a sufuria. This is a very old sufuria and I normally use it for dousing any leftover charcoal because it's not always that you'll cook with all the charcoal that you had lit. Your food might cook before all the charcoal burns out. So in short, yes, I do reuse my charcoal. So now I scoop out almost all the charcoal from the Jiko and leave just a small amount. This Jiko retains quite a lot of heat because of the ceramic material used in its construction. Then I return the sufuria with the pilau on top of the Jiko and then place the scooped out charcoal on top of the lid. I left the pilau to cook undisturbed for 20 minutes and it was finally ready. I also don't let it dry out completely. I stop cooking it just before all the liquid dries out, because that's where so much of the pilau flavor is contained. I fluffed it up a bit with a fork. How do you like this gorgeous brown pilau? It does look quite inviting, doesn't it? I also lifted the pilau in order to show you that the center and bottom came out very well. It didn't clamp together at all. As you can see, it's what I love to call moja moja, meaning 1-1. Finally, it was time to serve my pilau, and I accompanied it with kachumbari, that's salsa, that had mangoes, which provided a fresh, juicy and tropical aspect to the meal. So I hope that you enjoyed this pilau video. Until next time, God willing, let's meet right here on Jikoni Magic for more recipes. So until then, kwaheri ya kuonana.